Hello and welcome to today's Throwback movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Wreck-It Ralph in honor of this week's release of Ralph Breaks the Internet. Initially released in 2012, Wreck-It Ralph stars John C. Reilly as the titular Wreck-It Ralph, and it also has Sarah Silverman as Vanellope Von Sweets, Jack McBrayer as Fix-It Felix Jr. It also features Jane Lynch as Sergeant Callahan and Alan Tudyk as King Candy. The story of Wreck-It Ralph really was something that I enjoyed. We have this throwback film that is essentially a love letter to arcades in the video game art form. You see tons of cameos from the likes of Pac-Man and Q*bert and Bowser and Sonic, and I can go on and on and on and on and tell you all of these hidden video game characters that are in the background of this film, but we'd be here for almost the same time as the movie ran. The story features really Ralph having what is essentially a midlife crisis. His video game with Felix turns 30 years old, and he's looking back going, I don't like what I'm doing. Nobody likes me for the job I'm doing, even though I'm really good at it. I feel, is it wrong to be a bad guy? Is it wrong to want to be praised? Like, he wants to be different and doesn't know how to go about it. This brings in this story on how he wasn't the only one. A long time ago, there was another video game character called Turbo who basically went bad and ruined multiple games. And now it's called going turbo when you go against your programming, against the code. Not only is this a story about a midlife crisis, you can see Wreck-It Ralph throughout the story being depressed, constantly in this state of depression and not knowing what to do with himself, not how to fix it. So much so that he goes to a bar, in this case Root Beer Tapper, an old video game, and tries to figure out what to do with his life. So after Ralph kind of goes through that thought process, he finds that there's this game called Hero's Duty where he can earn a medal. And after doing what he does to that game, he finds his way to Vanellope's game, which is a kart racer. So we go from this classic throwback video game that Felix and Ralph inhabit, this old 8-bit game that's kind of a mix between Donkey Kong and Rampage, to Hero's Duty, which is more like a modernized first-person shooter, to Sugar Rush, which is a kart racing game. Think Mario Kart and games of that sort. So we get this area that is all connected by the power strip. And there's a memorable line with the power strip going to stop Ralph at one point, and he's like, do you have anything to declare? I hate you. I get that a lot. I think it's cute and fun all at the same time. And as we're going through these three worlds, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the sound design and the graphical design of each game. Each game is different. Each game has their own style. Not only are the sounds concurrent to what you would think of for each of these three games, you get these different graphical designs. Like in Fix-It Felix's world with Ralph is 8-bit, so they're all squares and cubes and nobody can walk diagonal. They're all up, down, left, right. And you see these movements and hear these sounds that is classically 8-bit, and it will really throw you back to that style of gaming if you know that style. Then you move into Hero's Duty where it's all sci-fi and edgy and all like hard rock, all metal, and it's pretty cool. And then you move into the candy cart game, Sugar Rush. Everything is based on candy, every little nuance of it. And it's got this narrator for weapons that is distinctly kart racer. Not only is this a movie for how to see depression in people and what a midlife crisis looks like, it is also a story of people meeting each other and becoming friends, and what it means to bond in ways that you're not expecting. Ralph goes from this big brute of a man who hates kids and doesn't want to be around them and just thinks that all he can do is break things, to kind and loving and wanting to protect his new best friend. Now when we're talking about someone like King Candy, he's just there to protect his game, and Vanellope in itself, because Vanellope's this glitch. She can't leave the game, and if something were to happen to where they got unplugged, she would die. Well, it's alluded to that she would die. We don't know if she would come back if they unplugged the game and plugged it back in. I think she would just come back. But I guess if you leave a game unplugged long enough, it would reset, right? So when all these things come together and then the plot finally merges to tell what happened and where and the way it all gets completed, you're left happy and joyous and just a little bit fuller because of where it touches you in your heart. It's a kid's movie, there is no doubt. I mean, there are times when I consider myself a big kid, and for the last, what is it, 6 years that this movie's been out, I love it. I'm a gamer, as you can see with some of the videos on my channel, and these characters that are in the background of Wreck-It Ralph are my childhood. Everything from seeing Bowser to Mortal Kombat characters to Street Fighter characters. It just touches me in that one section of my heart that will always feel that nostalgia. But once you get past that nostalgia, you see the heart of the story and where things come from. And there's not a bad performance anywhere. You really believe that these actors, these voice actors, are these characters. This is a Disney film, and it's one full of entertainment and value with a heart of gold. Deep down there is a heart there. There's no language or nudity or anything like that would make me recommend this not for a younger generation. With that said, as a gamer, show your children this movie. Show them these characters that you grew up with, that you love, and join each other and just bond and wait for the sequel, which expands to the internet, and we can only see how crazy that is going to bring to this world. But with that said, I would recommend this film for everyone. And until next time, have a great night.